Welcome to Brain Wreck. I'm Jason X.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this is the podcast that always has to wash their hands after they turn the page. We are talking... You get ink all over your hands.
You don't want to get smudges on the pages.
That's right. You
Those
don't want to...
graded someday.
Well, it could be graded. You know, that could be the difference between a 9.8 and a piece of shit 7. You never know.
Oh, well. I'm going to switch this so our logo's in. We don't need to promote those guys.
Okay. Fair enough. So, I'm a comic book fan.
Oh, you're just getting right into it.
Well, did you have something else to start with?
I mean, not really.
Oh, how are you?
I'm okay.
You're good?
Well,
Sleeping well?
No. And I'm not. I'm just waking up with headaches and...
No, I work for that.
Yawning all the time.
Some medication.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You got any?
No, you got to get it from a doctor.
Oh, I don't have one of those.
Is
it bad that I'm almost 30 and I don't have a doctor?
You see, that was the thing. When I turned 30...
Yeah. Did they touch your butt?
That's 40.
30 is like the new 40.
I guess.
Let's be real.
When I turned 30, I was like, I could use a physical.
I thought you were going to say a fisting. I was like,
whoa.
We are
You're in the wrong store for that, pal.
Oh, yeah.
This is a family store.
Yeah. So you turned 30.
So I turned 30, and then so I was like, you need a physical.
Right.
So that you don't, have cancer or something. Because you never know.
I think that's what they do at 40 as well, so I feel like you just proved my point.
Well, anyway, so I went to the doctor, and he's like, why are you here?
That's what I did, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I turned 30, and I thought, I might as well get the oil changed.
Did they say you peaked?
No, my doctor's not as mean as you.
No.
So...
I wasn't saying that as me. I was just curious.
Oh, you were role-playing.
Yeah, I was role-playing. Oh, yeah. I'm into doctor play.
Okay, well, Kirsty, you know what to do. Anyway, so I had the physical, and they're like, they did the thing where they scan you for fucking skin cancer,
okay,
and stuff like that. And he's just like, "Do you have any concerns?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can't."
Things might be falling off. I'm not sure.
I can't think anymore. I think I might have CTE or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, you'll figure that out. And
sure.
And I'm like, okay. And then I'm just like, it's like, no, I was talking about your skin. Like, do you have any troublesome or worrisome spots? And I was like, well, besides the mole that's in the middle of my goddamn forehead, what else there to be concerned about? And he's just like, actually, that thing that's in the middle of your face, I'm not too concerned about that. And I'm like, well, that makes one of us.
Isn't that like the most condescending shit ever? When you go to a doctor and you're like, hey, I'm worried about this. And he's like, why? I'm not. It's like, motherfucker, I have to live with this.
Not only that, but you asked me.
Yeah. You asked me why I'm here. I'm telling you why I'm here. Don't just put this off like it's nothing.
Yeah, don't put this on me.
Yeah.
You're getting your copay.
Yeah, it's like, motherfucker, you got paid. I have to pay you at this point.
Right.
Just like do something. Like poke at it and tell me, no, it's fine. Like, I would rather take that. I would rather a doctor just like look at my junk and be like, oh yeah, looks good. On your way. Pay the lady on the way out.
Right. And I'm like, wait, isn't this one of them rub and tugs? Like, what's
Wait, what? What fucking doctor are you going to?
The same one that the fucking Patriots guy went to.
That's not a doctor. That's a masseuse.
Well, there's massage therapy.
Do you know what a doctor is?
I went to one. He told me my face was fucked up.
Well, jeez. And you say I'm stiff.
Well, no, he said, it's fine.
Right.
I'm not concerned about cancer. He's like, but and he did like the old wink and the nod. And he's like, what if you want it removed? I could do that for you.
He's got a guy.
And I'm
Guy's
just
gonna
like,
charge you $5,000, but he's got a guy.
Yeah, he's just like, it might leave a little scar. I'm like, oh, so I can have a mole or a scar.
Well, then
fucking thanks.
Then they've got plastic surgery for that.
Right.
They just take the skin from your butt and they put it on your face.
Listen, I'm married.
You are.
I'm the wife's happy with me supposedly.
At this point, it's
Yeah, and so like I'm not trying to impress anybody. So we'll leave it as is. How about that?
Okay. Just gonna drop it there.
Hey man, at some point you just got to move on with your life. You got you got bigger fish to fry.
I thought you didn't like fish.
No, well, that's a different story.
Okay.
That's a horse of another color, as they say.
Or a fish of a different color.
There's not that many different colors of fish.
I mean, I know there's at least 1 and 2, and then there's like a red and a blue one.
Those are numbers, asshole. So, the reason that we're here...
You have children. That was a Dr. Seuss reference.
I totally got it.
Well, then fuck you. Making me look like an asshole.
Well, yeah, that's my job.
Okay.
So the reason that we're here in this lovely establishment...
Right.
...is that the topic of the day...
Yes.
...is comic books. Now, you had suggested this topic for today.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. It was Wednesday. It's new comic book day.
It's a new comic book day every Wednesday.
You have a comic book.
I do have a comic book coming out.
Plug it. Which way? They can't.
DevilWithinComic.com.
It's fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
It's a good read.
It's a fun read.
Yes.
I've enjoyed it.
Yes. So the second one.
I'm not being facetious. I'm being honest here.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm not always a prick.
Well, the second one is currently up for pre-order on Indiegogo. We are trying to get the funds to cover the printing costs because it's
few days left.
Expensive as fuck.
Few days left.
We got a solid 3 days left, so we got plenty of options.
Still time.
You didn't get the first one, you can get the second one.
Buy the first one.
And the first one together. It's a package deal.
Can you get the first package?
What?
Can you get the original package?
The original package.
With the new package?
No.
No.
Well, you can get the first book in with the second.
Do that too.
Yeah.
Do it.
Need your support. DevilWithinComic.com.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some big news in the comic book world today.
See, and I feel like this is as good of a time as any. You know, the people here allowed us to come into their shop, set up camp. They're apparently closing soon, which is why there's nobody here.
Oh yeah, we got the back room.
We got the back room. This is like where all the high end shit goes.
Yeah, people are playing the goddamn X-Wing game right over there at the tables.
What's the X-Wing game?
It's one of those board games where you got to buy the mini figures and.
Is that one of the things where it's like you buy the board game, then you have to go out and buy like all the individual pieces, and they do like upgrades for those pieces?
Yes.
So it's basically just like analog.
It's a pyramid
DLC.
scam.
Yeah, I mean, like that's all like games are nowadays.
Yeah,
just DLC.
Exactly.
Free game. Let's complain about it on Twitter all day long, but then still play it.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, big news. Detective Comics number 1000.
This guy
came out today. Of the Batman made his debut in Detective Comics.
Was this the one where like Alex Ross did like the fancy cover for it?
I don't know.
Okay, continue.
Well, they came out with like
37
different covers for this thing. I'm not even fucking
I'm sure
around.
he did at least one.
And you know what?
I'm gonna look this up.
Let me tell you right off the bat, the biggest tragedy out of the whole thing is that of all the people that got to do a cover,
right,
they didn't hire Neil Adams.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, wait, so they had 37 covers.
Roughly.
So which one would assume would mean like 37 artists.
Correct.
And not a single Neil Adams.
I'm
sure they had Jim Lee.
They had Jim Lee.
They would have had to have had Alex Ross.
Probably. They had Frank Miller.
I would say Frank Miller. Okay.
Yep. Well, they went by the decades, just like they did with Action Comics number 1000.
Check out all. Wait, you said 37.
Yeah.
37. There's 80 variant covers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. There's 80. Who has the time?
Not only that, but they're $9 a pop.
That's who has the money?
Not I, said the Fly.
I said the Fly to his deaf wife. Wait a second. Okay. Let's see. I am not seeing. There's no. Yeah, Alex Ross. Yeah, he's there.
It does say Neil Adams on there though, but like I didn't see a Neil Adams cover for pre-order.
Oh no, it says Neil Adams.
Yeah,
Continuity Studios and Gallery.
Yeah, I didn't see his cover up for pre-order, so I don't know what his cover looks like.
Is it one of the? Maybe they only did specific pre-orders.
What they also do
37 pre-orders.
Is certain covers are exclusive to certain stores.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that may have been the case, and I just may have missed it. But So in preparation of the show, I wasn't able to go out and get a copy, so I went to the old Comixology and got it digitally. And
the digital age is where we live now.
And did a quick thumb through of it, quick scan. I mean, it.
This isn't giving me the covers. This specifically said, click here for the covers, and they're not giving me the goddamn covers. Fuck you, Newsarama. Your site is bullshit. I mean, I to be fair, I'm not really looking that hard, but it said, check out a gallery of all 80 variant covers. And there's not a gallery. You lied to me. I'm furious. I'm gonna talk to your manager later.
You should.
I am.
You should.
Go ahead.
So anyway, so I gave it a quick through.
A quick
on Comixology. It breaks it down not by pages but by panels.
Sure. Yeah.
So there were 90 panels to this book, which is pretty hefty.
Okay.
You know, it's a good. Is it worth the $9? No, but
okay.
You know, it was quite a bit of story, and they did the same thing they did with Action Comics number 1000. Did you read that one?
No.
Okay. So Action Comics 1000 was an anthology piece where they had a bunch of different stories about Superman's history put in, and then they did the same thing with Batman with this one. They did. I will say Action Comics number 1000 was a goddamn piece of art. It was amazing.
Okay.
So well done. The opening story legit brought a tear to my eye.
I mean, okay.
So it was fantastic.
Okay.
Detective Comics number 1000. Not so much. No.
Why? What would you say was its biggest downfall?
It didn't. Here's the thing, and I'm going to lay down an unpopular opinion.
Oh.
All right. So here's my hot take.
Hot take. Boom. Drop it.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, wait, where is it? You have so many things in there. God, delete your scenes, sir.
Well, sir, we were doing stuff.
Hot button. All the way at the bottom.
All the way at
the bottom. Drop it.
I got a little shaky here. All right. So anyway. Oh. It's like a teleporter again. The main problem, the first problem with the book is it opens with a story by Scott Snyder.
Sure.
And with the art by Greg Capullo, who was famous for the New 52 run of Batman.
Yeah, those guys work together. Yeah.
I will say this. The Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run of New 52 is genius work. It is probably some of the best Batman writing.
I believe
there is.
I believe around that time I started reading it again, and I was like, this is some well done stuff. This is good art. I enjoy what I'm seeing.
It was a new story. It was added a whole nother complex layer to the character of Batman.
Right.
Terrific stuff. Goes up there in the annals of history with all the other fantastic Batman stories. Everything after the New 52 that has come out by Scott Snyder, I have not been a fan of.
Really? Why?
Because somewhere along the lines, someone told him, like, oh man, your New 52 Batman, what an epic story. You're so good at epic stories.
Oh.
And when you really look back at the New 52, it wasn't like, it was an epic story, but it wasn't a grand story.
Okay.
It was a self-contained story.
Sure. Okay.
But since then, he's done these grandiose, like, All-Star Batman was a complete flop. Like, he got through, I think, the first 6 issues and then had to completely change the story because nobody liked it.
Wow.
Even though I was actually a fan of the beginning of it. Then he went to Dark Knight Metal, which I didn't get past the 2nd issue. I'm like, I don't understand.
I haven't read any of that, but I keep seeing stuff, and every time I see it, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't, like, listen, if just put yourself in this situation. If you lived in Gotham City,
right,
and a giant fucking mountain appeared in the middle of the fucking city, wouldn't you just be like, why do we live here?
And like at that point, it's like we should just go.
Yeah,
like there's got to be other cities.
Odds are, if you live in Gotham City, yeah, you're not going to run into the Joker. It's like running into the Joker in New York City. It's probably not going to happen.
Big area.
But if a fucking mountain appeared in the middle of goddamn Manhattan,
right,
and you also hear the stories of all these crazy lunatics running around, you're like, why don't we move?
At some point, it's one of those things where at some point the laws or the universe doesn't adhere to the laws it's created.
Mm-hmm.
Like yes, it's a silly story in that it's a comic book with superheroes and supervillains running around beating each other up. But at the end of the day, like people are still by nature going to apply some form of logic to it. And that's just something that's going to be undeniable.
Yeah.
So when you constantly, that's part of the reason why I sort of stopped watching the CW superhero shows.
Okay.
Because it's like, at some point, none of this makes sense. I mean, I can watch it, case by case.
Right.
And be like, okay, cool. But like as a whole, which I have been watching this now for, like, everybody knows, like, at this point, I'm surprised when people don't know that Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow. I'm surprised that people don't know that like, all this shit is going on. Or that, for some reason, these superheroes who had these powers before suddenly can't, win the fight with the same power that would certainly win them the fight. It's like the story stopped adhering to the world they created.
And that's a big part. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in all this superhero nonsense, which I love, is when too many people find out whose secret identity it is.
I hate that.
And here's the thing. You can absolutely, like, if you created a universe where, we'll just use the Green Arrow, for instance. You create the universe where the Green Arrow exists, and he takes down the criminals and stuff like that. Just leave the part of, well, who's the Green Arrow, out of the story.
Yeah.
Like, we as the audience will buy that nobody gives a fuck who the Green Arrow is.
You know what one of the best things about the 60s Batman was? So they would do these like segments where it would be like Batman and Robin come in and they save the day. And then, Chief O'Hara would be like, oh, I just hope that whoever those people are, they know that we're grateful. And then, Commissioner Gordon's like, well, whoever they are doesn't matter. Those two right there know that we're grateful.
Yes.
And it's like, nobody gives a fuck.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
It's like, yeah, I buy it because you just established that nobody cares who these people are. They just want the heroes to come in and save the day.
Great point, Christy.
The Flash.
The fastest man alive is never quite fast enough.
Also, and like plot point almost in every single episode. I can't beat him. What should I do? I don't know. Run faster? Okay, I'm going to run faster. Beats him. Every single episode.
Not only that, it's a supervillain. What does he do? He also runs real fast. But how? Oh,
I don't know. Just he's from another dimension. He just has he's like more in tune with the Speed Force. So like you're riding that Speed Force wave, but like this dude is like in the way.
Can we come up with another complex villain besides another motherfucker who can run fast?
I think that like the first 3 seasons were all speedsters.
Yeah,
I think the most recent season they didn't have a speedster.
Okay,
but then it's always like, oh, it's not a speedster. Then who is it? It's their sister. Why? But why? Like why,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Scott Snyder's stuff after New 52 I've not been a fan of. And I will absolutely say in Action Comics number 1000, his story was the weakest.
Really?
And in my opinion, of all the stories in that. And then they open up Detective number 1000 with his story. And you're like, wait, what? There's like a league of detectives that
wait, what?
Batman didn't know about, but like he was searching for clues his whole life.
So there's like a double secret vigilante
So the
society.
idea. So spoilers, if you haven't, we're gonna be spoiling the fuck out of this book. Batman, like the story opens with Batman. His whole career has had like this cold case he's been trying to solve, and like chasing down clues and stuff like that. And he finally is gonna get to the end of it. And the final thing is he has to go to this apartment in Gotham City, and there's a keyboard, and he has to type in the last letter, and the secret bookcase opens, and he walks inside, and like there's Hawkman. And like
it's just the Justice League.
and like he's just like, yes, you found our secret league of detectives, and now you can be and Batman's like, what the fuck? Like, I've been chasing you guys for years, and it's been you guys the whole time. Why couldn't you just like tell me? Like, we're bros.
It's literally just like the Justice League hanging out. Like, yeah, we started this,
and he's just like, and they're just like, and he tries to like do this grandiose thing of like how this was the last thing that Batman couldn't solve, and now he solved it, so now it's all over. And then they're like, no, there's always a new case to be solved, and there's always adventure is out there kind of stuff. And you're just like, what the holy fuck am I reading? Like, this doesn't make any sense at all. So like, I was just like like the Action Comics number 1000, that opening, like I said, made me cry. It was so great.
Right.
This was like, what?
Why are we doing these
What
things?
are we doing?
Yeah.
And this is from like the all-star team up together again from the new 52 Batman, and you're just like, oh boy, that was underwhelming. And then you get to the second story. The second story was drawn by Jim Lee and was written by Kevin Smith.
Oh.
And this goddamn story should have been first. Completely redeemed the book.
Really?
Up to the second story. To where they go, this guy goes to a backroom arms dealer in Gotham City who's got like all the weapons and props from the villains that have been confiscated from the police.
Oh, okay.
You know, the evidence locker, stuff falling off the truck from the evidence locker, right? This guy's got it all. And so this guy goes in and he's looking at all this stuff, and he's looking for, certain items from certain villains and things like that. And then he goes, what do you got for guns? And so he goes and he looks at the guns and stuff, and he's like, I want that one. And he's like, oh, this gun. Okay, well, this is a very famous gun. Do you know the story behind this gun? And he goes, no, what's the story? And he goes, this is the gun that killed Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Oh, shit.
Right?
What?
And so he's just like, I'll take it. And so he takes it back, and then obviously the person is Bruce in disguise.
Oh, really?
So Bruce
Wayne.
Shit,
keep going.
Bruce Wayne bought the gun that killed his parents from this arms dealer.
Yo.
And so and he brings it back to the Batcave, and like he's got his whole collection, like he's got the big penny and the T-Rex and stuff like that. And like Alfred's giving him the speech, just like, I understand why you collect all these things, that remind you of all the good you've done, but why would you collect this thing that's brought so much pain to your life? And he goes, no, you don't understand. I'm not collecting this. So he takes the gun and he melts it down to a solid sheet of steel. And that's the sheet of steel that goes in the bat emblem, because he says that this was the metal that broke my heart as a child, and now it will be the metal that protects it. Kevin Smith. Fucking amazing shit. Fucking amazing shit.
Wow. Okay.
So, that should open the fucking book. Not this goddamn Detective League bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been keeping up with stories. Have you?
I had to stop like a year and a half ago just because it was getting too expensive. Like once they switched,
I feel like that's always the case.
Once they switched to 2 a month, they supposedly lowered the price. So the books were $4.99 for an issue a month.
Right.
Then they lowered the books to $2.99, but did twice a month.
Okay.
So they're getting another $1 out of you, essentially every month.
Okay.
But then they're also giving you an extra book, which I guess is a fair trade, except that month of collecting, your titles gives you that month to read them.
Right.
When you throw in another book for every title that you're getting, you can't keep up. Like, it's impossible to keep up. Mm-hmm. So I had a stack a mile high of stuff to read. I couldn't afford it anymore. It was getting too expensive, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta cut the ties.
Pause.
So
pause.
I was, I think, like 10 or 15 issues into Tom King's run currently on Batman when I had to stop. So I'm a bit out of the loop. Like, I know that, like, the whole thing with the wedding between Batman and Catwoman was taking place.
What was the deal with that?
So they were getting married.
Yeah. And then it didn't happen.
Well, I don't know if it happened or not. Spoilers.
Oh, well. Shit.
Thanks a lot, asshole. But,
well, I mean, I thought that it didn't happen. I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I know, like he had to tell her about the worst thing he's ever done, and then they had to, like, get permission from Talia.
The worst thing he's ever done?
Fuck Talia? I don't know. Like, I didn't finish the story. But then they had to get, like, permission from Talia, who was hooking up with Bane. So then they had to go to Bane, but then, like, and then they...
What the fuck?
It was
Just get married.
Right.
Like, how is a marriage? See, this is the thing. I fucking hate weddings and pro wrestling. It's the worst goddamn gimmick ever. Mm-hmm. Stop doing wrestling weddings.
Yes.
Okay? Has no place. Same thing with comic books.
I agree.
And superhero stuff. Because, like, whenever they do a fucking wedding arc in a TV show, it just throws everything
fucking
off.
Doc Ock comes in and throws...
Fucking Doc Ock, the brother and sister are getting married, and then
weird.
Dad is like, I look at you both as my children, and now you're getting married. This isn't weird. This is... And everyone's just like... Yeah,
what a nice speech.
What a nice speech. Those kids grew up together as brother and sister. Now they're fucking. Good for them. Like, you don't need that. There's no reason for that. It's gross. Stop doing it. Not gross. Everything needs to be Game of Thrones.
Oh, is that where they got it from?
I mean, I met. Well, those two were fucking on Game of Thrones, so I figured that suddenly everybody's fucking. They're brother and sister.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
It's okay.
All right.
If it's your cup of tea, it's your cup of tea. I'm gonna finish the show when the next season comes out.
Okay. I know there's something about holding the door. That's all I know.
I mean, yeah, there's a whole thing about that.
Okay, well.
It's sad.
Is it?
It's actually sad. It's actually really sad.
I don't understand why incest is so in right now.
See, I don't know why we're going to talk about incest for the next 5 minutes. I feel like it's one of those things where, like, it's just flown well enough under the radar for a number of years. And then Game of Thrones came out, and then people are like, oh, yeah, we can do this shit now. And then they just go, zip.
Oh, so Game of Thrones gave him the green light.
Game of Thrones just gave him the green light.
Okay.
Because everybody in that family were fucking.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe were they step siblings?
Nope.
No?
Nope. All in the family.
That was a good show, too. They weren't fucking in that show, though.
I don't think I've ever watched an episode of All in the Family.
Watchy!
Yeah.
The meathead! Oh, God. This got weird.
This got weird. Okay.
Fuck.
So, where did we jump off from?
I don't know.
People, who was fucking that would, oh, yeah, because the weddings, no weddings. Stop doing weddings.
Stop doing the weddings.
We don't need weddings. I mean, if they want to get happily ever after, let them do it. Just do like a quick 2-panel, boom, they're done.
Right. So anyways.
So
I read the rest of the book of Detectives 1000. There's some good stuff in there, like the Denny O'Neil story was actually pretty good. Which was awesome to see that he got to write a story in it. Twins.
And twins. Yeah, because they were twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like identical twins?
Well, I mean, like.
Because that's just like doing yourself, I guess. That's narcissism.
Maybe that had everything to do with it, too.
There you go.
Yeah.
We solved it.
Boom.
Although Barry and Iris are not identical twins.
They're not. I mean, Barry's adopted.
Right.
But like when you're at a wedding and you're the father and you say I consider you both to be my children. And now you're getting married. And everybody else is like, oh yeah, they grew up as brother and sister. Now they're getting married. And nobody else is like, why is this shit happening?
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Like,
Yes,
listen,
like, dude,
this ain't
bro,
right.
I know that you've loved her since you were 9, but
Right.
the shit has got to stop.
Right.
It's weird. Don't do it. I don't know. It's just me.
Just save money on a family reunion, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, his is mostly dead.
Right. Anywho. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. So Denny O'Neil got to write a story.
Good for Denny O'Neil.
It was really good.
Was anybody fucking in this story?
No.
Oh?
No, it was basically like it was a neat story about how as Batman is supposed to save the day,
right.
He's supposed to be the hero, he doesn't understand mercy.
He doesn't understand mercy.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like, he doesn't kill people.
Right.
But he unnecessarily harms them.
Well, yeah. And this brings me to a question that I've kind of had recently as it relates to Batman, because I feel like over the years, the whole idea of Batman has not necessarily changed, but like gone to an extreme. Because like I feel like growing up in the 90s, we still had traces of the Adam West Batman, and then we had the Tim Burton version, and the animated series, and then Batman with nipples was the whole thing.
That is true.
Like Batman during that time, and I wasn't really reading the comic books, so I could be off a little bit. But I feel like Batman, for all intents and purposes, was fairly tame. In a way, where
you do know that in the Tim Burton Batman, he literally blew up an entire building with people in it,
and he does throw a guy off the clock tower.
Yes,
or the bell tower. But to my point, I feel like the overall like nobody was like. Oh,
and he does kill the Ice Princess.
What? The Ice Princess? Oh, and Batman 2?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Sure.
No, he tried saving her.
Well, he tried.
That was the Penguin.
Well, listen. If you try and fail, you still fail.
But that is dark. Wow. This fucking guy, right? I don't know. Go play your game. Listen, okay. No, but I still feel like the general public perception of Batman was like, he's fairly tame in that, he's not just a brooding dick.
Right.
Where nowadays people are like, oh yeah, he's a brooding dick who won't kill anybody, but he'll break their fucking neck.
Right.
And I'm like,
which is actually funny that you bring that up.
Does he break somebody's neck?
He does something pretty fucking heinous.
Ooh, do tell.
So there's a story in 1000 about how he's basically like one step ahead of everybody.
Sure.
Like he's breaking it. He's stopping these thieves from stealing from this warehouse, but he's already like planted bombs like in the warehouse to like blow up the product or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And this one guy, like he's taking them out one by one. And this one guy has got like a gun, and he's just like he's wearing a suit that interacts with his brain to give him like superpower strength.
Okay.
So he throws a batarang into his neck and paralyzes him. And he said, well, the suit can activate with the body if the brain can't. And you're just like, what the fuck? He just paralyzed that dude.
Bruce.
But he ain't dead.
What are you doing? At that point, you might as well kill him.
He's just sipping from a straw for the rest of his life.
Because at that point, you got to figure there's got to be hospital staff on call. Like, people got to change. Just kill him at that point, I guess. But I mean, like...
I'll remember that when it comes to your time, pal.
I mean, hey, just dig a hole and throw me in it. Okay. I'm ready to go. But I feel like over the last few years, and like I don't know if the turning point maybe was Batman Begins, when they sort of redefined what Batman was, at least in terms of like the cinematic universe.
Sure.
But I feel like more and more recently, it's like, oh, Batman's like just a tough motherfucker who doesn't need anybody, blah, 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 darkness, punch motherfucker in the neck. Whereas it's like, yeah, but like he could be something different.
Yeah,
he could be like he could just, be like, yo, I'm just stopping crime, and now these guys are arrested, and guess what? Nobody has a broken face.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, like, if you look back, like, in the comics, like, the big brooding Batman, to me, is The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I look at that, and I'm like, that's not that extreme.
Yeah.
In comparison to, like, some of the stuff they put out today, like, I feel like he's just, like, because at that point, I look at him as, okay, he's old, he was retired, then he's like, well, now I got to go back to this, and he's just like old man Batman, just punching motherfuckers in the neck.
Right.
But like they're sort of, you sort of expect that with Frank Miller and the tone and the aesthetic and everything else that's going on in the story. Like that to me seems more contained to that particular story, where I feel like the overall vision of Batman nowadays is, you know, just he's like just old and pissed off and grumpy all the time.
Well, I think there's a combination to that, because basically if you look back at it, you've got The Dark Knight Returns that sets that tone, which informs Burton's Batman. That's kind of where he gets the idea of that.
Right.
So he gets the idea of Batman from that, but then it goes into the complete opposite direction with Kilmer and Clooney, where it gets more campy, like the '60s show. But in the comic books, you're looking at right around that time is when Dick Grayson took over as Batman. So, and with Dick Grayson being Batman, that was a more lighthearted type of Batman.
Right.
So when they rebooted everything in the New 52, and that's right when Batman Begins was coming out, they're redefining Batman, and I think that's where you get the modern Batman.
Yeah. It's like, I don't hate the modern Batman, but it's like at some point, like, just give him a break. Like, just, you know, I don't know, put a smile on his face. He's too grumpy. I like old man Batman, but he doesn't need to be so goddamn better.
I think he smiles once in Detective 1000, and it's literally when he's at his parents' graves.
Oh, that's great.
And he smiles because at the grave site he leaves a picture of like the Bat family,
right?
Of like everybody who's in his corner, and he's like, it's kind of like a, oh, I lost you guys, but I found my family kind of thing. Not like a fuck you, I found my family. But,
but that's a very
it's like a sentimental thing.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I would love. See, I feel like this would be a story I can get into. Is if they and I know that they're kind of doing it because there's like the Batman '66 comic series,
right?
But I feel like if they did maybe take a more lighthearted approach to a comic series today and did sort of like a throwback to sort of like the tone of the animated series, like I feel like people could still get behind that.
Yeah, no,
or just me.
No, I mean, the animated series rules, so everybody loves it. The other thing I was going to say, the last story in Detective 1000 introduces a character from the video games that will be now included in the Batman continuity going forward.
Is it the Arkham Knight?
It is the Arkham Knight.
Okay.
Which is interesting,
because
Jason Todd is already the Red Hood.
The Red Hood was the Arkham Knight.
Right.
But is the Arkham Knight in the comics not Jason Todd?
I would assume not. Because
Jason Todd's already running around?
Because Jason Todd's already running around.
So why then?
Because they need a new character.
Just make a new character. You just make a new character.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kevin Smith did it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why that's so difficult for people to do.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the problem. The problem is when you make a new character that people get all shitty because in order for your character to be effective, the first time he meets Batman, he has to beat him. And then everyone's like, oh, you just made your fucking character be Batman, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, asshole.
Making him overpowered and stuff.
He needs to have some type of credentials.
The promoter's always putting their guy over.
Exactly. Basically, is the idea. But
we didn't get a Red X, but we got a new Arkham Knight.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but with that being said, that's why nobody wants to create a new character, because they don't want the blowback of people being like, you're putting your boy over the Batman. It's like, motherfucker, you have to build somebody up.
I know.
For the night for the Dark Knight to take him down.
You gotta push him on TV.
Yep.
And then at the pay-per-view, that's when the babyface goes over.
Correct.
You gotta build to the pay-per-view.
But people don't understand that.
Are comics not building to the pay-per-view anymore?
Well, there's no pay-per-view. It's like the network. There's no pay-per-view.
Well, I mean, well, there's got to be like some big event.
Well, yeah, that's like an annual.
Okay, so like you build to the annual.
You could. Nobody does that.
But why?
Because I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
When was the last time they did like a big cliffhanger in a comic book?
A big cliffhanger?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they do them all the time, but like, It depends on what your definition of a big cliffhanger
Something
is.
where, like, the internet blows up and goes, oh, shit, did you see that? When's the next one coming out? 2 months from now, God damn it.
Well, they come out every other week, so nobody gives a shit.
But I mean, like, but no, for, like, that particular story.
I'm trying to remember when the last...
Does anybody, if you know at home, chime in.
Yeah, if you got any ideas of what a major cliffhanger recently has been in comics, I'm drawing a blank.
I'm not up to speed on all this. So there could have been one today, and I just don't know about it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess the Arkham Knight in this one was a cliffhanger because it's like he's like, I'm coming. So like you
well,
okay. Well,
was that like the last thing?
That was the last thing. That was like see the upcoming story with the Arkham Knight in Detective Comics 1001.
But I feel like, because here's the issue I have with that. Okay, if Jason Todd already exists within the universe,
right?
One would assume that the Arkham Knight isn't Jason Todd,
right?
The thing that made that work so much in the video game was that you go, okay, who is this person? And then you go, oh shit,
they're doing that story.
It's the Red Hood,
right?
But we already know that the Red Hood exists,
right?
So it's like, which way are we going here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who else could it be? Like, is there any potential for it to be somebody else? Like that is already established and well known.
See, and then this would be my guess, and this is a fucking completely uneducated guess because, like I said, I just stopped reading a year and a half ago.
Sure.
To my knowledge, I mean, it may have already been explained, but in Batman Incorporated, the last Batman Incorporated, I believe they killed Talia al Ghul.
So
and I don't think she's reappeared.
Could this be Talia?
No, she definitely reappeared. Never mind. That's a bullshit answer. See, and this is the problem with them fucking stopping and restarting the books all the fucking time, is you can't remember the continuity line. So you don't know where the fuck they left off, what line we're in, and it could be fucking anybody. Who the fuck cares? I've went from excited to who the fuck cares.
To who the fuck cares.
To who the fuck cares.
That quickly, huh?
That quickly, because it's like, it could be anybody, and then you could be like, no, it could be Jason Todd, and you're like, no, it can't be. The Red Hood's there. He's like, yeah, but
Did anybody die recently?
Did anyone die recently? I don't know. I haven't reading recently, so like, it's a bullshit argument. So like, we'll have to wait and see who they shoehorn in there. And it was Alfred.
Haven't read Batman Inc. since 5 years ago.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like, who knows when they rebooted everything again? What the hell storyline?
You're just like, wait a minute. When I stopped reading, they were doing this, but now they're here, which doesn't make sense with that. Like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, but there's been like 3 number 1s since I stopped.
It's like, this has always been the difficult task for me, like, because I stopped buying weekly back in like 2010, so it's been almost a decade.
Right.
Since I've been buying weekly.
Shit,
yeah,
it has
been almost a decade since 2010.
Christ.
Sit at home and consider that. But no, so like it's been almost a decade.
Another drink?
Almost a decade, and there's been times where I've attempted to get back into it all, and I'm just like, wait, I was reading which one? I was reading, so like for example, I'd be like, I was reading Batman. But now there's like 3 different Batman titles. Which one of these 3 ties into that one? Okay, this one ties into that one, but they say a side story from this one ties into that one, but then they don't tie in together.
Right.
I'm on the bathroom floor. Can somebody help me up? like trying to figure out comics for me at this point. Like that's where I'm at.
Yep.
You know.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, see Birds of Prey number 4 to get the backstory of why she's here, and you're like, but do I care?
Like, I can get behind, like certain stories coincide with other titles in a greater universe, and then certain titles have their own universe, but certain titles tie into the greater universe in certain stories. And again, now I have a bloody nose. They're kicking me out of the shop. I need a ride home. Like that's usually the progression that I tend to go through every time I try to buy a goddamn
It's
comic book.
like the butterfly effect. Your nose bleeds every time the timelines change.
Last DC event was Drowned Earth, an Aquaman Justice League story. Wait, what?
See, that's news to me.
What?
I've been too
Earth
busy
underwater.
I've been too busy making my own comic. I haven't been paying attention to devilwithincomic.com for my book. Check it out.
Yeah, good plug.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and then like I try to follow a little bit with what like Marvel's doing even, and then it's like, oh, they're rebooting Old Man Logan, and I'm like, wait, what?
Didn't he just die?
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, he did die.
Yeah,
you know, that was in the movie. But then like Old Man Logan was like a select series way back when. And it's like, okay, but why? Then it's like, oh, now we're doing like Old Man Hawkeye and Old Man Punisher and Old Man Daredevil. I'm like, when did everybody get old?
Well, listen, everybody dies.
I know everybody dies, but like, why is there like an old like now there's an old universe?
Because
do we need an old universe? Does everybody need to have an old person story?
Because all the old readers are like, hey, where's my character? All these young folks are around. Where's Adam West?
I mean, they got Batman 66.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I mean, then like they rebooted Civil War, and I'm just like, I can't keep up.
And they wonder why the comics industry is dying a very slow, methodical death.
So would you say then that there's a lot of like sort of the industry as a whole is overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed, and like they do this shit all the time, which is why the industry fucking dies, is because they come up with a gimmick.
Okay.
They come up with a gimmick, and then they ride that gimmick until people don't buy that gimmick anymore, and then they're back to square one. So, like, they relaunched New 52. Everyone's big jump in sales. Everyone's happy. They ride that for a while, and then they're like, okay, so half of these 52 comics suck. Let's minimize what we got.
Right.
So they're going to minimize so that people are only buying a certain number of titles, and that's great. So then they've got some steady customers, and then they see a dip, and they're like, okay, so what can we do? What can we do? Variant covers. We'll do a shitload of variant covers. So then they started putting out the ass in variant covers. Like you saw, 90 fucking variant covers for Batman or Detective 1000.
Detective 1000, yeah.
So they're banking on repeat customers buying more than one copy of the same book for their market strategy.
Let me ask you this. Is there enough people in the market who would buy all 80?
No.
Okay.
It's just too expensive. Like
who's got
the people that would do that are the people that are looking to resell it, and the aftermarket for comics is complete dog shit right now.
Okay.
There's just too much. Like there's no value to any of these variant covers because they print too many of them. And the thing is too, so now the new gimmick is they're like, oh fuck, these variant covers. Like we print the shitload out of variant covers, no one buys them, and no one buys them because the reason to buy them is to resell them, and nobody wants to resell them because you could just fucking go buy them.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I know what we're gonna do. Let's take the image and turn it sideways so that the cover is the long way instead of the short way.
Wait, what?
That is the new gimmick.
Who did that? Who did that?
They did it on this book.
Okay, so comics are typically read, like portrait, not landscape.
Right.
So they just made the cover.
Yeah. So if
so this, you flip it up like
if this is the book, this is your cover.
Portrait.
So then they print the image like this.
Just the cover.
Yeah, to go the long way.
Okay.
But when you open it up, it just reads like a regular comic.
Why? What's the point?
It's just a gimmick to get you to buy the fucking book because it's something they haven't
just make
done
things
before.
foil and flashy. 3D. You turn it one way. It's
they
one
did that
picture,
too. Yeah, those didn't sell. So that's why the comic industry is dying, because they're like, okay, so we'll move it from 1 book a month to 2 book a month. That'll give us an extra $1 a month per sales. So we're good there. We'll do the multiple covers so that, they'll buy multiple copies of the 2 books that we're putting out every month. So then we're getting even more money. And then, oh wait, we're putting out 2 books a month. So our stories are dog shit because nobody can fucking
Nobody can keep up.
Nobody can write quality of 2 books a month.
Right.
So we're just feeding in all this dog shit. We're putting out dog shit, and
Okay.
the people who read comics and buy comics are like, this is dog shit. I ain't buying this anymore.
Okay. You can call me a fake fan.
You're a fake fan.
No. But there is a reason why my nerdum primarily adheres to TV and film.
Mm-hmm.
And video games as well.
Right.
There's a couple games I got to play.
All right.
I can't keep up.
It's too much.
It's too much.
All right. Well, we got 10 minutes left, and there's something else I want to talk about today.
Oh.
So we're going to switch gears a little bit off of comics, but it's still sort of relevant. Did you see the trailer for Stranger Things 3
I did.
that dropped today?
Yeah. That dropped today or last week?
It dropped today, didn't it?
No, it dropped last week.
Okay, whatever. I would
say, was there a new trailer?
I saw it today.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, good. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, let me see when
Yeah,
it
welcome to the
dropped.
party, pal. Oh, hey, look it. Kevin Smith's tweeting about his
book, right?
book. Yeah. He said, and this is reference to what you were talking about earlier. You took a dopey fan fiction script and made magic. He retweeted something that Jim Lee said.
Yep.
He said, "This is page 8, Detective 1000 story written by the ever amazing Kevin Smith. Made me miss drawing Batman on the reg. So much work, but so satisfying to see the words and pics and colors come together. That's a good photo. That's good,
yeah. No, it's a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Hell of a story.
Okay, so
you're right. It dropped last week, but I wanted to talk about it.
okay.
What were your initial thoughts?
I was like, okay, cool. I'm into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is weird because I didn't really like season 2.
No, season 2 wasn't great.
2, did you watch all of season 2?
I watched all of season
Okay.
2. There was
And I know we did like a daily rec episode a while back on it, but
was an episode too long.
I thought it dragged a little bit more.
You didn't need that shit of her going finding whatever the fuck and then coming back,
That, and I think that's a Netflix thing.
becoming a greaser.
And not to get too far off the topic here.
She's a jet all the way.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody whose fandom and nerdom primarily revolves around TV and film and sometimes video games, well, mostly video games too nowadays. I'm okay with a show being only 6 episodes.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
listen, I'm not demanding. I'm very welcoming to whatever you want to give me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want to give me 6 episodes, I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take all 6. I'll take all 6 episodes right now.
right.
I'm cool with it. We did not need what was it, like 10 or 13?
It was 9.
9. Okay, so like more than what we needed.
Yeah, I mean the first season was 8, so it
Well,
was an episode
but
longer.
even like the Marvel shows, like I didn't need I loved the Punisher. I enjoyed the show. I did not need 13 episodes of the Punisher. At some point, I was like, okay, they could speed this up a little bit. It would probably be better.
Right.
You can do that. It's okay. Because this is the thing, they have the ability to set the universe. I would rather want more than to be tired.
Right.
Like, this is just too much.
Exactly.
But watching the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm into this. I'm behind it. I'm interested to see where this goes.
Right.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
Not so much.
Okay.
Not so much. See, the thing is, like, okay, season 1, you have a general hook of 80s geekdom. That's your hook, right?
It was very nostalgic. Yeah.
Nostalgic. Season 2, your hook was 80s video games, Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
This one doesn't have a hook.
What do you mean? 80s summer camp, man.
Okay, yeah.
80s summer vacations, man. Hanging out at the mall. Do you remember the mall? Do you remember when malls were a thing? How fun it was to just go to the mall and do nothing but hang out at the mall? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you at home remember that? I remember that. You know what's not fun anymore? Going to the mall.
The mall sucks.
The mall
now.
sucks now.
It's horrible.
It's empty. There's just dirt stores and just weird people. Sometimes you get a winner, but overall, it's not fun to go hang out at the mall like it used to be.
The trailer didn't wow me.
Okay.
Because it seemed like a change in... Well, obviously, the characters have to grow, right?
And from the looks of it, they have all grown up.
They have all grown up.
Yeah.
Except for Dustin, who's The kid that didn't grow up, supposedly, in the story from what I got from the trailer.
I thought it was Will. See, I didn't get that. I thought it was maybe Will.
Maybe Will?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because he was all, like, teary-eyed and, like, yearning for the Ghostbusters
Yeah, but,
days.
like, he's a pussy. So, like, what are you going to do?
The kid was in a weird position at one point.
Whoa. He was in a weird position.
I mean, they took him to the Upside Down, and he was all fucking slugs
pal.
and shit. Why are you making it weird?
You're the one that says weird stuff. Anyway, so I wasn't thrilled by it. Like, it was one of those things where I have already canceled Netflix.
Okay.
I've canceled Netflix for a few weeks now. Watching that trailer, I was just like, I don't know if it's going to be worth picking back up.
Okay.
It's one of those things, like, if people come out and they do the review and they say, holy shit, better than the first season.
Back to form sort of thing?
Yeah, then I'll be like, huh, that's interesting. Maybe I'll da-da-da-da. But as of looking at that trailer, I'd be like, I ain't missing nothing.
You know what I also think part of the problem that a lot of people had with it, and this just dawned on me. So you got the first season, and it was very contained to, like, a small group of people.
Right.
Really. It was a small group of people. You had the outside characters, but the focus was on just, like, a core group.
Right.
With season 2, it was really like they were expanding a universe.
Yeah, kind of.
Which it was like, I don't know if that show needed.
No.
Yeah.
It was like, take all the characters that you really love, and let's add some mediocre characters to them.
But now it's like, because season 1, it was like, okay, Stranger Things. It's a show about the kids. Season 2, I'm like, okay, it's a show about the like this town people,
Yeah.
like the people in the town.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, okay, Stranger Things. That's the show about the people in the town.
Right.
You know, I feel like now it's kind of turning into this almost like, and sort of it's no longer about the core group.
Right.
It's like the surrounding area. It's like The Wire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Primarily season 1 of The Wire. The really good season. At the end of the day, every show just reverts back to being The Wire.
That's like your example for everything. It's like The Wire, but not. I'm like, wait, what? What is that?
To be specific, season 1 of The Wire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Wire.
Season 1's really good.
You don't say.
Season 2, not so much. 3, I got behind it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, start to go back downhill in season 4. Now, okay, we got a few minutes left here.
Yep.
So, okay, so to put a stamp on that, I wouldn't say I'm excited for season 3, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it has to offer.
Right.
You're gonna wait until I watch it.
The jury's out.
Yeah. Okay. The jury's out.
And it's so weird because, like, I saw Twitter, like, people on Twitter reacting to it, and they're like, you know, God damn it, my 4th of July is ruined now because I'm just going to be binge watching. And I'm just like, are you though?
You can. Here's the fun thing about Netflix. You can still go outside and watch it at a later time. Like you don't. You are not. Listen. You are not captive. And Netflix is not forcing you to do this. You are a free-thinking human being. You have power to go out there and do what you need to do to get the job done. Live your life.
At the end of the day, live your best life.
So that's Stranger Things season 3. There was another trailer that dropped recently.
Okay.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
I know you're not going opening night.
No.
Okay. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, which one?
The most recent one.
The one that dropped today?
There was not one that dropped today.
Yeah, no, there was.
No, there was like a featurette that dropped today.
Okay, well, I didn't see that.
It was the one where it was like it ended on when everybody was like, whatever it takes.
Oh, were they in the spacesuits?
Yeah, we're like or no, I don't know if that was the one. But there was like the first trailer that came out, which was really like a downer.
With Tony in the helmet.
With Tony in the helmet, and it just gave you the feels.
Which is my new band name.
Tony in the helmet.
Tony in the helmets.
You know what? That's a badass name. I would pay to go see that. I would pay a ticket to go see that band and actually show up.
Oh wow! Okay, that's high praise.
Yeah. But yeah, like the most recent, so like the first trailer came out and it was very much like a sad downer,
right?
And it gave you the feels. It's like, oh my god, my emotions, everybody's dead,
right? And
then this most recent one was like, yeah, like getting pumped.
And then you're like, well, not everybody's dead.
Like some people are still alive.
Yeah,
yeah.
But like the important ones are dead.
some of the important ones.
Yeah.
Other ones are important. They're still alive.
Well, listen, everyone's important.
Yeah. Everybody thinks, they beat somebody.
I didn't beat anybody. Who'd I ever beat?
But what is your take on all this?
I think here's the deal. I think it was best explained by somebody, and I can't remember who watched the trailer, and they were also not a huge fan of Marvel.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they watched the movies, but they weren't, like, diehards like some people are. And they're like, nothing in this trailer, like, everybody knows what's going to happen. That's the thing with this movie.
Well, yes.
The only thing people don't know is who's going to make it out.
And here's the thing. Yes. I also think that this isn't the type of movie you're waiting to see what happens next. This is the type of movie where you're going along for a ride. Mm-hmm. Okay, listen. Everybody knows that they're filming Spider-Man 3.
Right.
Or Spider-Man 2, rather.
And that was a big point to this person, which is like, they're filming the other fucking movie.
Literally, after Infinity War came out, spy photos from the set of Spider-Man 2 were hitting the internet. Okay? They just rehired James Gunn back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with the original cast.
Yep.
They're going to do another Black Panther. They're going to do another Doctor Strange. They're doing a Black Widow movie. Mm-hmm. Could be a prequel, so, But, all these characters are coming back for new movies and stuff. So you kind of have an idea that mostly everybody's going to be back in action.
Right.
You're going along for the ride, though. This is the equivalent to a roller coaster. This is the equivalent of somebody standing on the ground, watching a roller coaster in action, going through all the loops, all the drops, all the waves, all this, that, and the other thing, and then ending the ride and going, I'm going to go get on that. This is what that is.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, this is the thing. You paid $18 to
Here's
go along
the thing.
for the ride.
Here's the thing. Anything that I want to know about this movie,
right?
I will fucking put money.
Okay.
Hard-earned money on the table.
You want to do a wager?
I guarantee, before the second showing of the movie,
right?
So you're gonna have the opening showing, before the second showing of that movie, while the previews are still rolling on the screen,
right?
I will know exactly what happened without even trying.
It's just like the movie hits and you just go, boop, I know.
No. I won't even look for spoilers.
Okay.
This movie will be spoiled immediately.
Why? How so?
Because
just because of the chatter?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I thought you avoided everything for Infinity War, though.
I did. Not everything. I couldn't avoid everything.
Okay.
I avoided a lot.
Okay.
But I feel... Jesus. I feel with this movie, because it is the end game, because we know one of three, if not all three, are going to die in this movie, there is no way to avoid it unless you're going to see it first.
Okay. I mean, I will be there first.
Oh, good for you.
I'll be there first. I'll be the first one in line.
Good for you. Did you see the thing about the people offering $1,000?
Yeah, I didn't read into that, though.
Mm-hmm. So the idea is that this company was offering someone $1,000 to start from Iron Man 1.
Was it just one person?
Yeah, you had to interview for this. To start start from Iron Man 1 to go all the way to the premiere of Endgame.
Okay.
And then you would basically live tweet tagging the company that's sponsoring the thing in your posts of throughout the movies, like, oh man, here comes fucking Jeff Bridges. Oh shit, here's Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
You know, it's Thor Darkseid. I'm gonna go take a piss. You know,
right?
Like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like the qualifications were like you have to have at least 1,000 Twitter followers. Like you have, and I'm just like, okay, why don't you just who you want? Like you already know who you want for this. Like, just contact them.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, bro, you want $1,000? I'll give you $1,000. Watch these movies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could offer somebody $20, they'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they had over 1,000 followers. I'd do it. I don't have 1,000 followers, but follow me. Follow me. And follow the show.
Oh, this is segue to the end?
This is segue to the end.
All right, go for it.
Brainwreck Show. Across all social media. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail. Ooh, the lighting switched again.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or that was on the other side.
Yeah.
BrainwreckShow@gmail.com.
Oh, you asshole.
Buy his comic book.
Yes, DevilWithinComic.com.
There's only a few days left.
There's only 3 days left of our Indiegogo for issue number 2. You can also get issue number 1 as a reward on the Indiegogo. Go to DevilWithinComic.com.
Yeah.
Only 3 days left, so please make sure you get your name written in the book.
Yeah.
As a reward for backing the book. So please do so.
I'm going to go. Yeah. Oh, continue.
Okay.
I wanted to sign off because I'm going to go stunt on these nerds.
All right, right on. So for this week, I'm Jason X.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this has been Brain Rack.
Rack it up!